Well, hi, Tubers. Hi, I'm back with 6 books in isolation, and it's by Anna Bell, The Man I Didn't Marry. Can you fall in love with the same man twice? Okay. From my local library, because I'm going to go back soon. And read the blurb. Ellie has the perfect life, a happy marriage, a gorgeous daughter, and a baby on the way. But when her husband Max develops amnesia, he forgets everything about the last 5 years, including their relationship. And the man she said I do to has become a stranger, and she has no idea why. Yet Ellie is determined to reconnect and find her Max again. He has to be in there somewhere, right? As they get to know each other, as they get to know one another afresh, Ellie finds herself seeing Max clearly for the first time. But then she discovers that just before his memory lost, Max was keeping a huge secret from her. Will their new beginning prove to be a false start? Just as it seemed they might fall in love all over again. So you can imagine Ellie, heavily pregnant, got a daughter, living the perfect life, and suddenly husband with amnesia. I absolutely love how this book opens. This book just pulled me in straight away. As a proud member of the Geeky Nation, I love this. I love this. When deciding to go to Comic Con this year, dressed as Wonder Woman with a very short skirt, a tiny corseted top, I'd not factored in the possibility that we would end up in a meat market of a club afterwards. Right. So essentially, she's at Comic Con, and then she kind of gets separated, and she sees Max hasn't seen each other for a while, and he's kind of confused about what's going on, kind of thing. But yeah, so they go from Comic Con to a club, meets Max, and she kind of gets separated. But I was like, well, honey, you're just as a Wonder Woman in a nightclub. I mean, kudos. Anyone who does that, absolute kudos. Okay, so they re-meet. Okay, because he kind of sees her as, my little sister's best friend, but he starts to actually see who she really is. She's a geek. She's funny. She's analytical. She's mathematical. She's very, she's awesome. Ellie is awesome. Okay, and yet they fall in love. It's kind of like a whirlwind. They kind of see each other for how they really are. He sees that she is a woman. Okay, and they meet and get married within, and 5 years later, they've got the house, the marriage, the mortgage, 2.1 children, and they're living their best lives. They're absolutely living their best lives. But the fact is, Ellie's also had this kind of insecurity about it, because Max has always been the, well, I went to a girls' school, okay, so, but okay, the top dog on campus, okay, the really popular one, the really gorgeous one, okay, the one that every girl wants to date, okay, that. And there's this bit where she runs into one of her old school friends, old school friends, okay. You could tell the kind of girl that Max would have gone out with, okay, right, okay. And her name's right. Here we go. Right, Cara Worthington, okay, right. Right, hello. Oh, yeah, hi, it's Voss now. How are you, Cara? I watched her eyes widen at my surname. Everyone at school knew who Max was, and I was sure she wouldn't be the only person to be surprised I married him. But she quickly composed herself, fluttering her eyelashes and breaking in a big smile at we're long-lost friends, when in truth unsurprised she even knew my name. At least she knew the name teachers called me at school, or anyone who's true my friend would have called me Ellie. Okay? And Carl Worthington thinks, okay? Right. Right. Originally thinks, okay, that no, Ellie married Max's sister, that she was gay. Okay, there's a bit of confusion. Okay, she's like, oh, well, you got to come on my show. Okay, she's like a producer, and talk about what's it like being, a modern lesbian couple. And it's like, no, no, she's my sister-in-law. I married her brother. Okay, right, and that's when the ball drops. That's when the ball drops. Okay, right. So wait, hold on. This is Cara. If they're married to each other and she's your brother's baby, does that mean you married Max's? So you married Rachel's brother? That's right. Oh, it's just that I thought Max was your only brother. He is, said Rach. You married Max? She turned to me, her voice tinged with disbelief. You married Max Voss? Max Voss, who was voted most, I'm not going to swear on my channel, of 1997. Right. I know I looked different in school, but I wasn't the most comfortable in my skin back then. I'm sure it's not that shocking that I could have married him. I mean, he might have been D Max Voss, but now he's just Max. Yes. Yes, Ellie did. And I don't know what's such a surprise, said Rage. She's awesome. In fact, Max very lucky that she married him. More of a catch than he is. God bless you, Rachel. Love you, Rachel. Okay? Right. Right. The funniest thing, what's my geek glasses maybe thinner. I'm still that girl. She isn't a bit geeky at heart, but I'm also warm and funny and generous. And she would have seen that both then and now she actually looked, but she won't. Right. Oh, of course, I guess it was just a shock at first, but of course, no reason that she couldn't have married him, said Cara, still seemingly shocked. So out of curiosity, does he still look like a Helmsworth brother? Uh-huh. So in my head, okay, it looks like Liam Helmsworth. Not Chris, okay, because that's the blonde hair, okay, Liam. To me, Max looks like Liam Helmsworth, okay? So, gorgeous. I love that capes. Right, okay. So the thing is, this is like, it is about Potato 54 to kind of like set the scene. And this is when, okay, they're going through their lives. Ellie's joined like a baby group, just kind of like meeting people, kind of, getting her head around, okay, second pregnancy. And the fact is, in her own life, Max's life is actually quite fractured. His parents, for that last 5 years, have got divorced. His father's living in Spain. He's got someone new. And so, whilst Ellie is building her family, her husband's family kind of fell apart. And then this is the crutch. This is the crutch moment. Okay, right. Right. Is that your baby? Says Max, standing up from the sofa. Do I know the father? Just under reply. I don't want to be with that Rachel and Judy are right, but he's not trying to spice up our sex life. Then I'm running out of logic reasons to why he's doing this. Right. Sasha, that's the baby. Sees Max and nudges towards him. I simply pass her over, but I don't miss a look of horror on his face. What am I supposed to do? He says, taking her a little awkwardly, but as soon as she's in his arms, he balances her on his hip and starts to smile at her. Right. So literally, Max has just suddenly lost his memory. It is just gone. There is no like accident. There's no trauma. It is just gone. 1 minute he's just walking. Okay, he's thinking. Okay, it's 2022. Okay, right. So imagine this. Okay, you're walking and it's 2022, and suddenly you turn around and it's 99 1997. Okay, right. Can you imagine? Imagine what's happened in the last 5 years. Oh man, trying to explain that. So, no one can actually understand it, okay? Right. hmm No one can actually understand it. And then his parents decide to do this thing where they kind of pretend that they're still together because Max is done dealing with trying to understand why his memory is lost. And the fact is that this past 5 years that they had together is just gone, okay? And then Max's parents do this thing where they pretend that they're still together. Right, right. My whole body tenses. The last time they were in the same room was at her wedding and they almost came to blows. After that, things haven't improved. Particularly since discussing selling the house, but now a smile spreads across her face, leaving me even more stunned. So there's tension in that. It's like everyone starts to keep secrets from each other. Whilst Ellie's sitting there thinking, I don't know my husband, he doesn't know me. Okay, and the thing is, okay, right, right, is the fact is that they moved like from London. They got that they're building like roots. Okay, actually went back to their hometown. Right. Mhm. Right. As of 5 years, he could have forgotten. He can't remember the most eventful years of his life. His parents splitting up, Rachel coming out, him going to hide seal dating, us meeting a man and having Sasha. Right. So she kind of wants to do this thing where she wants to start reenacting their first days, just trying to jog their memory. But of course, as everyone else knows, okay, when you go through your life, okay, the memory lane, then you go back to that place before, it's not the same. Like, and also, Max is mentally the man she knew when they first started dating. Max is lost 5 years of maturity. Having a child, getting married, connecting with people, falling in love, it really makes you mature. One thing I love seeing, okay, about so many of my best friends is watching them really mature when they grow up. I mean, someone in joke, okay, one of my most wildest friends, and now she's a PTA mum, okay? Would you joke about that, okay? She's on the PTA. I'm like, if your kids knew, okay? And one day I'll be telling them. I've got pictures. So, right. And so they go out, and obviously she's heavily pregnant. She's trying to build this life together. And then she's watching her husband acting like he did 5 years ago, and it starts to tear her apart, right? And then when Jess and Max spending time with anyone else, I know the Carl Worthingtons of this world will think I should be. He's after all one of the life's naturally beautiful people. And whilst it's taken me a long time to accept that I too am pretty in my own way, I'm not the kind of woman that will stop traffic, but for us as a couple, looks played such a small part in our relationship. Yes, I am physically attracted to Max, of course I bloody am, but there's so much more than that. It just works on so many levels, or at least it did. It's not like I'm naive enough to say that he's ever found another woman attractive since he met me. Of course, probably has. He's only human after all, but he's never let me see it until now. Yeah. And one thing I did love is this did remind me a lot of the Channing Tatum film The Vow, which I absolutely, well, I mean, let's face it, if I lost 5 years of my life again, suddenly it's like, all your husband's in, it was Channing Tatum, I'd be like, okay, right. But, so it did remind me a lot of The Vow. Now, the difference is, say, the couple who inspired The Vow, their marriage fell apart. But yeah, the whole kind of we need to like fall in love again. We need to kind of try to replace those memories with that. And I like the fact that it did kind of play on that, but it wasn't a traumatic car accident. It was a, um, just a gone, gone. Right. hmm But the fact is, one thing I did like is that in a way, this family is gaslighting Max, which is not cool at all. The family is gaslighting him with the whole kind of your parents are still together kind of thing. But this bit here with the dad, you kind of understand why, and it's heartbreaking. I think it's kind of selfish to do so, but it's very, very realistic. Okay? Right. hmm Ellie, he says, shaking his head, it's the biggest regret of my life that I lost him in the first place, and as for Sasha, it's the main reason I haven't been over in Portugal to meet her before. When I'm away, I can pretend that he doesn't really exist and that she's just something in a photograph. But I don't know her personality. Sorry, back. There was a cut. You probably saw a cut. I'm really rubbish at editing. So anyway, so it's a lot about loss in this book. His family is gaslighting him, and in the end, okay, they realize how selfish they are, and they kind of realize that this is wrong, and they confess to him. But for poor Max's emotional state, this is very difficult. Can you imagine? For 5 years, his family's been fractured. His father's now come back into his life and realised, well, no, we didn't see each other a few days ago. I have not seen you in years. Um, Imagine also in the last 5 years, okay, first of all, COVID, okay, which is not really touches upon that briefly. Brexit, our current Prime Minister, the world in general. So much has happened in the last 5 years. I mean, there's one point, okay, that his mother's just chatting to Alexa, as you do, okay. Luckily, my internet's off, my thing's unplugged, and he's amazed, okay, that obviously Alexa does that now. So, and I apologise now for anyone who's watching this, and I do apologise who just said Alexa 3 times now, and one of your devices just came to life. I'm sorry, that's a force of habit, okay? It happens if you're watching a TV show, and suddenly, boom, it's that. So, I liked this book. One thing I absolutely loved the most, okay, about Ellie is the fact is that she has placed her husband on his pedestal because she was the geek that everyone that thought she was gay, everyone thought okay that she amounted to nothing, everyone thought okay that she because the glasses, the stereotype, and she was the geek who got the guy that everyone wanted. In a way, she placed her husband on his pedestal, and in her bid to find out more about him, to find out what caused him amnesia, she realizes that she is someone who deep down at her core is very, very doesn't feel like she's worthy of Max, even though she more than is. She has people in her corner being her cheerleader. And going on this journey, she realizes how strong she actually is, and I absolutely love that. I love how good this book was. I would kill this to become a film. I mean, the gaslighting of Max I didn't think was cool, but how Ellie realizes how strong a person she is, how she realizes that she's put entire marriage on this pedestal because Max was the one that everyone wanted, that she never thought that she was worthy of Max. So it's quite sad, really, how down at her core she's so insecure about it when she has an absolutely great life, even with the pregnancy. And it was finally getting incorporating his pregnancy in this. Some bits are absolutely hysterical. Especially when that her man starts to get closer, and he's acting emotionally like he's never been on a date with her. He never has this history with her, and at the time, seeing Max also being very, very insecure too, it kind of gets to grips with the last 5 years very, very quickly. But I absolutely love this book. The Man I Didn't Marry by Annabelle. Absolutely loved it. Do recommend it. And go back to the library. So take care everyone. Stay safe. And all that fun stuff. Bye now.